Coming to you, live from the deepest bowels of Unsolved Studios, comes the Unsolved FearCast. Unsolved. Welcome. This is a special episode of the Unsolved FearCast. We're going to be a little more freeform this time. We're going to discuss a couple different things, just a couple of rando fears that we both have, different things that maybe aren't necessarily top tier fears, but just stuff on the general that freaks us out.
I mean, yeah, because we've been getting remarks from individuals of saying, well, people are afraid of a lot of things. Like it's definitely a lot of individuals have it, like that one fear of just like, nope, I don't want to deal with that. But I mean, there's different levels of fear, and it's good to explore all of them, right? All the little levels of it.
Absolutely. Also, us here at Unsolved Studios are not doctors, psychologists, psychoanalysts. We are regular people just like you, with regular fears, just like anybody. And we are discussing these fears, hopefully in a manner that might help us cope, understand, deal with, live with, anything really, to just kind of bring these things to the surface and discuss them with you.
Yeah. Listeners, watchers, we appreciate you being here once again. I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm Fonz Tyson. That's all he is. And, we're here to explore this on another level with whoever's in the hot seat. And today I am in the hot seat.
You are in the hot seat.
Oh man.
I am Ryan Williams, your local friendly neighborhood fearmonger.
Yeah.
I am gonna just keep collecting all these fears and just discussing them. All right. So let's hop right into it. And you
jumping on in.
Mentioned earlier that you have a fear of being on camera.
Yeah, it's very contradictory to what I do as a whole. But being on camera is something that's nerve-wracking for me. It's hard for me to get prepared, get set up, and fucking get enough oomph to be able to just like be on this for a particular behind the camera all day, any day. It's awesome. I love pressing the buttons. I love watching the screens. I love making sure everything's sounding good, looking good, doing all that stuff. But on camera is hard, and a lot of people are able to do it super easy. And me, it's hard. Forget my lines, forget what the fuck I'm talking about, start rambling, etc.
I just like to point out that I've been working with Fonzo for over 10 years. We've done 3 movies together now, and in that time you've definitely had to play a character in every film we've done.
I specifically write my scripts for me not being in it. I don't want to do it. I want to make others do it, right? Others, because I know a lot of people are talented. I have that talent to be able to just jump on there, memorize whatever random gibberish that I scribble up and stuff. But it's hard for me. And so I write out all the individuals as somebody else in mind to be playing them. And then it's hard, some people say, hey, we're going to help out. We're going to be playing this character. We're totally down to do it. Come filming day. They're like, oh, my whip's broken, or, oh, I can't, I don't want to do it no more. So I had to end up jumping in to fill roles. And you can tell if you watch through our videos. They're good stuff. A little rough, but they're good. But I don't have talking roles. I try to stay off the camera as much as I possibly can, and let the other more talented individuals fucking take star reign, man, because there's a lot of talented individuals out there that can do it, and I don't think I'm one of them.
Now, do you know how this fear of being on camera manifested for you? Is this something since you were young, you didn't like being in like home movies as a kid?
I mean, like, especially like even there's maybe like, okay, so school picture day, right? You could maybe find me in like 2 years, 3 years maybe of the school pictures, all the way from kindergarten all the way up to whatever else, before I stopped going. And it's nope, you won't find me in the rest of them, because like I don't know, like I don't want to be like, well, I don't know. I didn't want to be found. I don't know. Didn't want to be look back and people like, oh, there he is, or that's what it, like. I don't know. I never liked it in general.
Now, is it maybe like a fear of being put on the spot or being the center of attention?
That could be it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and this is a hot seat for a reason, but you know, it's put on the spot, man, and it's so comfortable. But like that might be an anxiety-ish of it, but it also might be because like I'm a slight schizophrenic, right? So like they're watching, man. He's watching. So like I don't know, dude. We're in such a day and age of just like, dude, a picture will fucking take it into the wrong hands, man. It can go a long way.
So you definitely feel that this is more than just like a shyness for the camera. This is like an actual like fear that when you know you're being put on the spot, like right now, you can feel the anxiety building up in you.
Oh, definitely. Like, you know, it's I could come in here all day with like, all right, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this, but like being put on the spot, man, all out the window, right? I mean, I'm good at improvising. I'm good at improv because like throughout my life I've had to be in that role, whether on camera for a production that we're doing for that day. Like it's like, oh shit, well now I gotta do this, you know. Like no one else is gonna show up to do this, so I gotta take a deep breath, rock and roll, and do what I gotta do, right? But also like outside of like my other productions, like in life, there's times where it's like, oh shit, like your homeboy didn't show up and he was the only one that like was willing to drive the backhoe over through this, and I guess like, all right, well, put on the spot of like, well, who's gonna do it? Are we gonna go home, or is someone gonna step up? And I'll fucking put myself in that situation. But there's definitely an anxiety ridden whole moment. It's not just a moment, but like fucking a while of just like before, after, during, and then it's I don't know, it's an adrenaline rush, right? But it's not like yeah, let's fucking do this. It's like, okay, let's do this. All right, like I guess I gotta do this. You know, I don't
know. Now, do you feel that like the more experience you've had now kind of working in film media has kind of helped you, or is it almost like you feel that same fear at the beginning of every time when they're like lights, camera, action?
I mean, I guess it's helped because I've seen others, like we've done a lot of productions, a lot of projects together, and we've done a lot of projects with other people together. And so like certain individuals will come on like ready to rock and roll, ready to let's do this. And then as soon as action, like it's not there anymore. Right? And then others who are just like, we can do this, yeah, sure, like, well, let's go do this. And then they just fucking tear it away, like take it away, you know, and they just fucking fulfill that role. And being able to see different people's reactions and like how they're able to differ or how they deal with it, like I've never asked them like, how do you deal with being on camera or whatever? But like, I know even from big time actors to, you know, first time on screens, like there's got to be something that everybody does to be able to just like, all right, time to get recorded, time to be on that spot, time to get it done and do it quick and get on out of there.
Now, I can say from my personal experience that I, like, when first meeting people, have a shyness, but when it comes to acting, I feel that since it's playing a character and it's not necessarily a representation of me, but me portraying something else, that feels it feels a bit like it alleviates my fear a bit, because I'm like, oh no, I don't have to sit here and put myself on, out there and really worry about that. But I gotta play this character. I gotta throw on a mask and jump around like a crazy person, put on some makeup, and I'm a zombie crawling out of a sewer. Like, it feels easier to play a character sometimes than it is to necessarily play myself.
Wow, I mean, that kind of makes sense, I guess. But like, I hear that like a lot is people they're able to make that separation, right? But like, I don't know. Like, if I have to do something, like I gotta be into it fully, or like because I'm 100 or nothing, baby. And it's like I guess it's hard for me to be like playing a character and be able to just like flip that switch real quick, yeah, whether I'm just acting or not, I don't know. It's I gotta be who I am. 100. Let's do it.
All right.
You're watching Unsolved FearCast. What's your fear? Unsolved FearCast.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
We are back. We probably weren't gone for more than half a second, but we're back now.
And we're back.
And we're back, and we want to discuss with you, what are you afraid of? Put your fears in the comments below. Let us know. And if you would like to do a FearCast, reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere we're on social media, and let us know. And if wherever you are, we can call you up or get you in the studio and we can discuss what you're afraid of.
That's it. We're so excited to get guests in here. It's awesome to get everybody to get to this level of person to person to understand these fears. And there's so many different fears out there. It's amazing, but they're so common amongst each other. Like, just discussing these like throughout the episodes, like it's not just one person who's like, oh no, I'm afraid of this one thing. Like, it's no, you're somebody of a mass group who's right there with you, and they're just they don't want to deal with that shit any more than you do. Right? But hit us up in the comments, like, subscribe, do what you got to do, support your local talent, support your local artists. And again, what's your fear? We want to talk to you. We want to get you on the mic. We're able to do call-ins. If you want to remain anonymous, we can do that too. Change the voice.
It's a low voice filter on you.
Sound like a Smurf or something. Who cares?
We got you. This is our call to action.
Bong.
We are calling you.
Bong.
What's your fear?
Do you have a fear of people pointing at you?
Oh my god.
All right, so now we are going to discuss a fear that I've had since I was a child, and it is a fear of spiders.
Oh man, the fear of spiders. There's a lot of people that have that, man.
Yeah, now I feel like I can kind of pinpoint this, and it goes back to a movie I saw as a kid, and this movie is actually named after this fear. The movie was called Arachnophobia.
That was a good movie. Did see that one.
Yeah, I just remember like the spider, and it wasn't even like a normal spider. Like, a normal spider is gonna kick it in your house. It's gonna find a quiet corner where like there's not a lot of stuff going on, and he's literally just gonna clean the bugs out of your house. But the spiders in this movie were like legit, like determined. They were chasing people. They were jumping out of stuff. They were like following you down the hall. And it just, I remember I was like, okay.
The one movie that got me was Eight-Legged Freaks.
With the giant spiders?
Yeah, with the giant spiders. I was like, nope, couldn't do that. The cat got sucked into the wall, and I was like, no.
Did you ever see the movie The Mist?
I think I just watched that one the other night. Yeah,
where they're stuck in the supermarket
and everything.
Yeah, so then when they go to the pharmacy and it's covered in webs, and then these like mean, and they were like they had mean faces. Yeah. Oh, the skull faces on these spiders. And that's like the thing is like, something this tiny, it's okay until it's this big or this big or this big. And then it's like, okay, now you can kill me. Now this isn't funny. And they had like acid web, and it was like melting people apart, and they shot it like daggers. That was terrifying.
I mean, that shit in real life gets fucking scary, man. And then, I mean, like, but on the flip side of it, like, tarantulas are dope, dude. Like, I grew up like, okay, so I'm scared of like, I'm not like, scared of spiders, or like, but I'm like, that if there's a spider, I'm like, oh fuck that, die, right? You will die. But like, but fucking when I was growing up out there, like they would have like a tarantula migration season.
Wait, is that Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado.
Okay, yeah. I read something about that, and I was like, okay, so staying the fuck out of Colorado.
And you'd see, dude, thousands of tarantulas, like probably about maybe like yay big, just crawling along the roads an evening, and it's sunrise and stuff, and they would just, you drive across the road, crunch them, dude. And but there's a lot, man. And if you go camping at the wrong season, bro, and you wake up at the beginning of that migration,
they've webbed up your tent.
They not even that, they're just like waving over your tent, dude. Just waving over. I could see you cringing, dude.
It's gross.
That's pretty intense, but like, it's cool. As long as you're not fucking with them, then they're not gonna eat the shit out of you or bite you. But if you're fucking with them, like, they have a right to fucking stab you, right?
We were at a Carlsbad Caverns, and we were driving down the road, and I don't know who it was, but somebody spotted a tarantula on the side of the road. So we immediately pull over because, we're yuppie tourists, and we're like, oh my God, wildlife.
A tarantula.
And so we run over, and we're like looking at this thing, and I have my phone out, and I'm like, and then it moved. Like, it jumped and it started running at me, and I won't show the video because the scream I made as I started running back to the car was just it was awful.
It was a lot. What's happening? Don't touch me.
And it's like, I remember I was probably about like 11 or 12, and I decided to like make a bug collection. So I started kind of collecting random bugs from the neighborhood, beetle out of the tree, got some praying mantises. That was when I learned you can't put two together because they go to war. And I remember as like, I stuck my head under my neighbor's porch, and it was like one of those like orb weavers, and it was like just the back end of it was pretty big. And I was just like, like,
oh my God.
Somebody had to pull me out because I just froze. Like,
oh no, dude. I mean, I personally think people are like kind of scared of spiders because, like, take a jumping spider for instance, right? They're tiny as fuck, right? They're little tiny and fuzzy, and like they're not like deadly or anything like that, like the little wolf spiders, but they jump, and then your mind registers that they're not there anymore, and then you're like, wait, where is it? And then you have to look around for it to where it landed. Like, they move so much quicker than humans. You take a human jump, you can see them travel that distance, but those fuckers are like here, and then they're on you. or like their legs are just like there's the speed of it. Like humans, like the ratio of that, I don't think they can walk that fast, man. Like we would be hitting like 8 miles an hour in walking speed, just like boom, quick.
I remember at my job where when we first started selling produce, they were like, "Oh, there's always a possibility that there could be a banana spider in the banana crates, and that they technically kind of fall asleep because they're held in refrigeration until they get to your store,
and then they wake up,
and then they crawl out, this little 5-inch spider, just like, hey, what's up, man? I used to live in Ecuador." Oh, geez.
And now it's at your local shopping center.
Now, I will say, in like the 10 years that we've been selling produce at my work, I've never seen one. Nobody's ever mentioned one. But it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, I don't play.
At my work, I was tying because I deal with donations, so I have to sort through donations and clothes and hard things, whatever. And as I was tying up a bag, something came out the top of the bag, just like came out, and I was like, "Oh, it's a toy snake." But no, that thing just kept going, dude. It just crawled out of the bag right as I was tying it, and that I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm not even afraid of snakes, but that scared the shit out of me at that moment. Like I jumped back, like I was like, "Oh my god!" And as it went under like the donation area, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go look and see how big this thing is," because that thing nearly made me shit my pants. I looked down there; it's like maybe like that big, tiny little fucking thing, but it scared me. It scared me.
And see, a problem I have too is like, in my household, I am the go-to bug squasher.
You're the guy.
Like I have a teenage son who's taller than me and probably less afraid of spiders, but yet I'm still the spider squasher.
You're the spider guy. Oh.
And every time they're like, "Hey, there's a spider in the bathroom," I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we board up the bathroom. It's his now, right? Like it's his bathroom.
That's his domain.
And they're like, "No, you have to get in there, find this spider who's hidden, and then deal with him." And I'm like,
you have to get it now because it's gonna end up somewhere else.
And I would love to be that person who's like, "Oh, okay, let me get this spider on the corner of this piece of paper and move him to a safe location where he can live out the rest of his spider life."
They come back.
But I'm not. Yeah, no. And I can tell you that my building was before me a home to more spiders than I would like to lay count to. And I'm still like, to this day, there's got to be hundreds of black widows that live in this building. I think it was a week ago, a black widow came down on a web, landed on my arm.
Yep. Yeah, it was,
and I had to swat it off real quick, and it was
gives you the shivers, bro.
It's not fun.
You know, like there's that statistic, right? That's like everybody, no matter where they are, ever, they're always within like 5 feet or 6 feet of a spider.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Like, no, I mean, I'm just saying, dude. Like. That's an actual thing. Like you get this. Shit. Sorry to burst your bubble, but they're there. They're watching.
And what it's like that there's a statistic that says there's like a certain number of spiders you're just gonna swallow in your sleep because they're just like, "Oh, hey, look, your mouth looks like a wonderful place to build a home."
That's unsettling, but it's supposedly real, man. And now, how did they get that statistic? I wonder. How do they know this?
There's just somebody who's just sleeping in a room with a camera on all the time, just watching spiders crawl into his mouth. Ugh. Okay.
Midnight snack.
Delicious. Okay. All right. All this spider talk is actually, you know what? I think I'm going to upgrade this into a minor fear to a major fear. Yeah, no, this is not something I am a fan of. But we're going to go ahead and take another quick break. Do what you need to. Pause the video, because we're not really going to be on a break. We're going to come right back. But we're going to take a quick little break, get everything set up, and we're going to talk some more about fears.
And now for a paid commercial broadcast by... No, I'm just kidding. We'll be right back.
Hey, we're looking for sponsors.
Hey.
Are you a sponsor? Would you like to be the sponsor of our podcast?
Do you want to give us money?
Yeah, or like stuff. Like
Or
maybe
stuff. We like stuff.
Yeah, like maybe you're like a bottled water company and you want to like hook us up. Liquid Death. Or like I don't know.
There you
Like,
go.
yeah, something else cool. What do you Five Guys subs? We like sandwiches.
I
Yeah.
mean, we'll eat it, I guess.
Either way, if you're a sponsor and you would like to sponsor the Unsolved Studios FearCast, reach out to us. We'll be right back.
Unsolved FearCast.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
We are back with the Unsolved Studios FearCast. Unsolved. What are you afraid of? Once again, reach out to us in the comments on social media. Let us know what your fear is. If you're interested in being on the FearCast, we would like to have you. We want you
To be sitting on this dope ass stage, man.
Yeah. talking about your fear, or on the phone talking about your fear, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Just talk about your fear with us.
We promise we're not going to bring out like Oprah status shit.
Yeah. The green screen is strictly for putting your fear up behind you after we're done. We're not
Yes.
going to actually have weird crap right here with you.
No one's dressed up in fuzzy suits or anything. Not happening.
No.
We're not about trauma here. We're about growth and knowledge.
The only way we're actively going to put you in a fear spot is if you're afraid of podcasts.
Yeah.
But that's a real thing too. So talk to us about that.
Woo. Yeah. Let's get you on. I wanna
All
hear that.
right. Switching back over to you, we are going to talk about your second fear here, which is buttons on crosswalks.
Yep. So
This definitely needs some explaining.
this one's deep. So
Get out your your aluminum foil caps. 'Cause we're going deep with this one.
So those buttons, as you're going across the crosswalk, easy access for everybody's fingerprints. Who's driving? Who's not driving? Who's using public transportation? Who's not? How many people are walking the streets during the day? How many people are using it at night when there's nobody there? But dude, fingerprints, bomb, it's there, done.
So is it like, do you think that the button itself is getting your fingerprint, or that
Yes.
somebody could come after the fact and take your fingerprint off that button because of the surface?
I mean, second one, complete possibility. Could happen. First one, absolutely. It is registering that, and it is. I mean, you go to new areas and stuff. It's like they're not always updating it, but they're always making sure that you have a possibility of pressing that button. And it's not just for safety. I know it's for safety, but they're getting it, man. Statistics. They're getting your statistics, where you're at, how many people are there. Your fingerprint is there, time, date, done. No, done. So what you do is you press it with like your elbow or something, so they know they know you're there. Like, but you're not leaving your grubby print on it, man.
Now, and I'm not actually like citing an article or anything, but I've actually heard that the variances in fingerprints aren't actually super individual. Like that there's a limited number of kind of styles to the fingerprint, and that it is actually possible to have a similar fingerprint to someone else. What makes it more individual is actually like your kind of your hands, and like if you got scars, if you burned yourself and stuff like that, but that the actual swirl patterns aren't like one in a billion. Yeah,
like, and I can see that. I mean, it's kind of impossible to have everything absolutely different, right? Like there's going to be the similarities in it, and I'm gonna let that other person with the fingerprint do it. Like I will fight to the end. I wasn't there. You didn't fucking see me. What do you No.
So, is it safe to say when you come walking up to a street and you see that button that occasionally you just decide to just jaywalk away from it?
Oh, 99.9% of the time I
You're
jaywalk.
like, nah, I'll just walk 10 feet down.
And okay, I get pissed at some jaywalkers because like the homies that like, all right, cruising across the street, don't give a shit. Everybody's moving 45 to 65 miles an hour. Like they'll see me. They won't hit me. Like you gotta have some anticipation of like, I'm gonna get from one side to the other. You gotta do a little bit of Frogger, man. Like do the justice of the fucking missile going down the street to get from one side to the other. Just bum. Point A, point B, done, over, and you're good. But like I do jaywalk. And it's gotten me in trouble.
Just to avoid those buttons?
Yeah, completely, 100%. I don't want to touch them. Like, and again, if there's, you know, I have to, it's just kind of in that situation. I'll push it with my elbow. You know, got the hoodie, put it in the hoodie, press the button through my hoodie. You know.
Do you have a, you know, like when the pandemic started, they made those little keys, and you just hit it with the button, the little copper key, antibacterial keys for touching these buttons.
Done.
Now, I don't necessarily feel that this is the most irrational fear.
Okay.
I can agree because, like, I find urinal sensors to be a little like misleading. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
Why? Like,
why is
if it's
so
just
much
a light
technology
sensor,
in it?
yeah, but it's like it's a big old block, and it's like it makes me think that there's cameras in like literally every toilet that I can't just flush with the nozzle.
They're getting your statistics, man.
It's DNA profiling.
I mean, it's that deep, bro. They want to know when you piss, how many times you piss, what color it is.
Well, if they just want to let me know that I'm dehydrated, then I'd appreciate it. If that's for some weird, you
don't get to know that, man. The person who spends the most money gets to know that.
I don't personally know when I'm dehydrated, but they know.
They know, man.
They know.
There's gonna be some dude like, I want $40 billion on this guy's info. I need to know how much, how dehydrated he is at 3 a.m. It's like, oh God.
That is one of those weird things about the internet. They're like, they're selling your information. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad somebody knows that I eat out more than I cook food at home. Great. What are you going to do with that information? I guess throw more ads for McDonald's in my face, but keep raising the prices and I'm going to start cooking food on my own.
I saw something that there were, that because of AI, like hookup, like now AI and the routers in your house, they're able to locate you and know where you're at and predetermine your day. So they know where you're going to be in through the day, and they're able to like generate like mapped out imagery of either where you are at in real time or know where you're going to be in like 5-10 minutes. That's fucking creepy, dude, because it's like sonar. They're using your router and the phone that you have on you every single day to pinpoint where you're at, to create like an echolocation. And then it's just like, nope, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., you were in the kitchen. You know, at 11:30, you were taking a shit, and you do that more often than not. So, yeah, man, that's scary.
So you're telling me the government is using the technology from Batman: The Dark Knight?
Hey, you know, and that's the thing, though. That's another. Oh man, tinfoil hats all day. That's another thing. If the modern technology that you see in the movies has probably already existed for at least 10 years. And like, that's the modern technology. The government's not even allowed to release their top technology. It takes like 10, 15 years before they declassify shit. So the newest Hummers, the newest like fucking dope electric like powered guns that you just fucking plug in with a USB now. Like fucking that shit's been around for fucking years, but that's new to us. And
yeah, maybe it's all those movies that get the future wrong that are just trying to throw us off.
That's it. They know already, man. They know, and they're just trying to steer the sheep. Steer the sheep. Oh my god!
All right, that is some tinfoil hatness right there.
Oh my god!
Okay, well, let's try to jump back into reality a little bit, and it's not very far off from the spiders, but I have a fear of bugs in my ears.
I mean, I had no knowledge I guess knowledge of it. It happens. But I didn't really have a fear until you kind of brought it up. But like, yeah, it's a scary fucking situation. Fuck that.
I feel like this fear, it's similar to like riding a motorcycle. Like there's the two camps of people. There's the people who have fallen on a motorcycle and the people who haven't fallen yet.
Gotcha.
It's like there's the people who have had a bug in their ear and there's the people who haven't had a bug in their ear yet.
Oh my God. It's going to happen.
So let me just...
Okay, let's hear something, man.
So I wake up in the middle of the night and I just hear this, and like it is that close,
amplified.
And I'm like,
oh god,
what the fuck? And it's just like all I hear is this scratching, and I'm like, oh my god! And then I feel it. I feel something in my ear, and so like the first thing you do is you try to shove your big stupid fat finger in there and hope that you're gonna just scrape it out,
right.
You know, or hopefully not just smush it into your brain.
Fever.
And I just remember it was the craziest noise because it was like a noise you can't escape. It's in your head, but it's loud. Just
how long was it in there for? That's terrible.
So I ran to the bathroom frantically, get a Q-tip in there, and I'm trying to see if I can move him out. Nothing, and it's just like and just you don't know what it is. You don't know,
right. And
it's just so bad, and I'm like freaking out, just like tearing through the house. Like I don't know what to do. Right. And so I eventually go and I lay back down, and I just kind of try to put my ear down to like see, and he crawled out, and it fell onto the pillow, and I found his ass. And I squished his ass 100 times. I mashed him into atoms. There was nothing left.
What'd you get?
Oh, but just that feeling for those, like for the 10 minutes he was in my ear, and just it was like every little movement was just like an earthquake in my head. Just.
All right, two things. One, you know what you're supposed to do when you get that, right?
No.
You're supposed to get a flash. You turn off all the lights, get a flashlight, and shine it towards your ear, not directly into it, but like just towards it, so they see that light and they crawl towards the light. So, I mean, I don't want it to happen to you again, but I'm just saying, man, in case. There you go.
No. Now I sleep with earmuffs on. I was thinking of inventing like a little like
helmet,
like a shield for your ears, made of like the stuff that stockings are made of, just like a little stocking that goes over your ear, makes a little trampoline. So if they want to jump on it, that's fine. But they can't get inside.
Oh my god! And then you heard about the Iron Man guy, right?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I think so. It may be somebody else. It's hard for me to remember stuff. But some actor somewhere was like fucking like he sued his hotel because he got a cockroach in his ear. Like sued him.
Yeah. And see, that was actually my not his experience, but my first experience knowing about bugs in ears was watching, it was like a Rescue 911,
right,
where a child had gotten a cockroach in her ear, and it was just living up there, and they had to take her to the hospital to get this cockroach out. And it's like, no, yeah, Oh,
Yeah,
just
like that.
what do you mean you just made it up in there?
Oh my god. Ugh. That's cringeworthy, man. That's terrible.
It was absolutely terrifying. I was like, please don't move in here. No, my head is not a place for you to just take up residence.
I mean, and then it's just like, well, what kind of bug is it? Is it gonna be? Is it just gonna eat through your eardrum and keep going?
Oh my god!
Damn.
Yeah, black widow spider just living in there. Oh hey,
no.
it's gonna be really easy to cure this spider bite from inside your ear.
God. There's probably so many gross stories too. No.
All right. We are gonna take one final break. And we're going to come back in a second and we're going to discuss our last set of fears.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Take a pause if you need to. Go take a shower to wash all this gross fear talk off of you if you need to. We understand.
But you're going to come back for more.
Oh,
yeah.
On the Unsolved Studios FearCast.
You're watching Unsolved FearCast. What's your fear? Unsolved FearCast.
Hello, I'm Ryan Williams, one of the co-founders of Unsolved Studios. Here at Unsolved Studios, we're working on a myriad of different multimedia projects. Are you into action, suspense, people in luchador masks? We have that here. Drama, podcasts, possibly some reels here and there for YouTube, some Instagram. We have it all. And we're working on all sorts of new projects. So come, join us at Unsolved Studios and find out what we're working on next.